Hi everyone, welcome again. So, Monday to Fridays at this time here, I do this every day and I look forward to having feedback from you and to have conversations with you. This is brand new for me, these elegantly raw tidbits. So please tune in and share. And please make sure you subscribe as well. So, we're talking today about consciousness. Yes, my favorite topic. What exactly is consciousness and why is this important in our everyday activity? Because consciousness is simply an awareness. It's an awareness that we exist. It's an awareness of the outside and the internal stimulus. It's the awareness that there is an outside and there's an internal part of us. It's just being totally aware. And everything has consciousness. This pineapple has consciousness. It's still a living being. It hasn't been cooked or altered in any way. And if I leave it out, it will keep actually ripening. Thank goodness. This has consciousness. This has consciousness. So does the coconut. Even this tamarind has consciousness, or this rambutan. They all have consciousness. Now, do they have the same degree of consciousness? Do they have the same amount of consciousness? This plant has consciousness. This is a cactus, and it has its own consciousness of a cactus. So we all are conscious beings. All living beings are conscious. The problem is that most of us detract from it, or it was beaten out of us, shamed out of us, completely and totally destroyed by the way we were treated on a regular basis as children, or experiences in life. So we can become unconscious. Some of us give our consciousness away to corporations, governments, entities, cults, and we lose our own integrity of our own feelings, our own sense of self, which is where the consciousness of our own being exists. And we can raise our consciousness, we can raise it by having coconuts of high vibrational levels. The higher the vibration of the food we eat, the higher the level of our consciousness will be raised. The lower the vibration of anything we put on our skin, in our mouth, anything that we look at, watch, hear, that can lower our level of consciousness as well. Our level of consciousness is affected by so many different things, and it's constant, but it's very much all sentient beings have this awareness of internal and external existence. Some of us are too externally oriented because that is how we've survived. That was a tool that really helped us to survive. But when we want to raise our state of consciousness, we need to go within, to the internal world. And we need to shut off more of the external and create a balance of really coming back to ourselves. Now, consciousness is it thinking? Some suggest that the very act of thinking demonstrates the reality of one's existence and consciousness. For example, René Descartes, he said, "Je pense, donc je suis." I think, therefore I am. This is something that people who studied the Buddha and Jesus and his work, and Muhammad and everybody else, that the Sufi masters, I love the Sufi masters, they, with their different levels of consciousness, if you're a whirling dervish, your level of consciousness is highly enhanced by whirling. Most dancers understand and realize that as well. So they're just different levels of consciousness. For example, an external stimulus like light, if you're conscious of that, if you're aware of the light from the sun, if you're feeling the warmth of the sun or the warmth when you enter a room, if you recognize the voice of a friend or someone who really has helped you a lot, that's consciousness. Is your level of consciousness that is allowing you to recognize that voice. So consciousness is a fundamental aspect of our existence, and this is probably the one thing that we know that we're alive. But most of us, some of us, a lot of us, have given away our own sense of being in order to simply be like everyone else, to be normal, to do as others do, eat what others eat, say what others say, watch what others watch, and become as less of ourselves as much as possible. That's losing our consciousness. If we want to raise our consciousness, we have to go build our own internal world more. We have to find out the sense of self that we have either destroyed or squashed and pushed down. And the level of consciousness will determine very much what we choose to eat, what we choose to drink, when we go to bed, when we go to sleep, every single relationship in which we give of ourselves or we hold of ourselves. So it's very important to constantly be aware in every single activity we do, because every activity is a decision we have made, whether or not to involve ourselves fully or hold ourselves back, whether we will be celebrating a holiday because, well, everybody else around us is doing it, but we really don't want to do it. We don't feel a connection to it. To raise our level of consciousness means we can actually learn to say no to things we don't wish to do, because you then become fully conscious that this is who you are, and other people's wants, needs, desires, feelings are not yours. And it's very important to acknowledge this and to build this within you. So I suggest that you find time for yourself, that you make time for yourself, that you plan each day, that there's always, even if it's just 5 minutes, that you maybe go to work and you arrive 5 minutes early. I ask my clients to do that. And you stay in your car for 5 minutes and you just do some deep breathing exercises, and I give them these exercises that will help to raise their level of consciousness, which they also find very soothing and calming, which is their level of consciousness then allows them to realize that there's a part and place within themselves that is soothing, that's nurturing and calming for them. And to them, we really need to start spending more time discovering our own states of consciousness, uplifting and nurturing it. So, thank you for tuning in today. I look forward to seeing you Monday to Fridays here. Please click the subscribe and the notification button so that you can stay in touch with me on this and anything else that you desire I speak about. And I would like to have a mutual conversation with you about consciousness, which means therefore then it has to do with food, it has to do with feelings, it has to do with our experiences, a whole pile of things. So raise the consciousness of love within you and realize that in order to do that, all you need to do is go internally, not externally, and that all you need to do is spend more time learning about who you are. Thank you. I look forward to more of this rapport with you.